must have seen your pods landing. Take them out, or take them down. You know what I mean.
From the trailers, Evasion looks a lot like Farpoint. So much so that I've been seeing a lot of people online getting hyped for Evasion as their next Farpoint fix. But looks can be deceiving, as the two games, despite both having a similar look and optional aim support, actually have very little in common, and I'm having trouble even placing them in the same genre. In fact, Evasion rids itself of story, exploration, progression, and even the excitement of discovery, in favor of being a fairly straightforward wave shooter. Evasion gives off a pretty awesome first impression. The graphics look decent, your weapons handle great, there are 4 character classes, and the campaign features optional 2-player online co-op. The game even dishes out some fairly unique mechanics, offering up not only a shield at the end of your blaster for defensive maneuvering, but also a cool tethering system for obtaining power-ups and finishing off enemies. It all sounds great on paper, and for the first hour or so I was hooked, but as level after level passed, nothing in Evasion ever changed. From the very first level until the final moments just a few hours later, there's practically no gameplay variety. It's just wave after wave after wave of endless enemies. In fact, Evasion is a wave shooter, and if we're defining it as bullet hell, it's the easiest bullet hell shooter I've ever played. Enemies never get tougher, they just get bigger and take more bullets. This footage might make it look like I'm in constant peril, but I'm simply not. Nothing outside the final boss presented any kind of real challenge, and even that just took patience to finish off. Character classes honestly don't handle much different from each other, and after a while you'll notice that every level seems copied and pasted with the same rocks, sand, and metal structures.
It is probable that they have deployed countermeasures. Be on alert.
And even with the aim controller that tracks movement seamlessly one-to-one, there are still some control issues that need to be addressed. Turning with the analog stick doesn't always register, but you will turn in whatever direction you're looking, making navigation feel clumsy by default and the speed in which you strafe almost incomprehensibly slow. I enjoyed experimenting with the 3 locomotion schemes though, the funniest being the one where you jog in place to move forward. You might look silly while doing it, but it's actually a fun way to travel. Unfortunately though, without a solid story, an XP system, new weapons to find, or any kind of variety to push me forward, I was bored after the first few stages, which is exactly when I called Gamertag VR so we could finish off the second half of the game together, which we did in just under 2 hours, but when the final boss took us both down, there was no desire to try again. It was just over. At that point I'd seen enough of Evasion and its bullet sponge enemies to last me a lifetime.
Hostiles incoming. Take them out.
I know it sounds like I'm being extra critical of Evasion, but at every turn there was another disappointment, and at the $40 price tag it just seemed ludicrously expensive for a relatively soulless wave shooter. Luckily it's a wave shooter with aim support and full locomotion, but it never really excels far beyond that. Co-op makes the game a bit more fun, but there's simply nothing here that wasn't already done, and done better, in Farpoint.
Surge attack ready.